This is Talking Bullish, the new Bradford Bulls fan podcast. With your hosts, Laura Micklefield and
Alan Raisin. This week we're talking about what went wrong in York. We have a little tour of the news, and of course we look ahead to Friday Night Fever against Oldham. And here I am with Laura.
Hi.
What a game on Sunday. Well, a good game for the neutral, shall we say?
Yeah, I think it were a good game for a neutral. I think that's, well, apart from York fans and neutrals, I think that's only people it were a good game for. Yeah, third time looking, no.
Yeah, I'm feeling terribly hungry today because I was expecting to be eating our words. It wasn't to be.
No. Unfortunately, my predictions seem to be spot on at the minute, which I wish I wasn't good at predicting things. Yeah, it's not as bad as I thought. I think that's the honest assessment of it. I thought we played better than we did against Hunslet, even though we got the win against Hunslet. With the team we're playing, you're playing a team that's obviously top of table now, so you got to think about the opposition you're playing and how you play, but still disappointed.
Yeah. Well, let's go through the game a bit then. So we actually started brightly, scoring the first 2 points. Yeah,
coming off that, I suppose getting a penalty early on, it should really get you to kick on and hopeful. I thought, getting the points, I thought it was the right thing to go for the 2. I know previously in some other matches where we've started early on, if we've got penalties and such, they've gone and tried to run and then not got the score. So I think getting the 2 points was the sensible thing to do. I mean, if you kind of look at overall score, if we hadn't have missed kicks, it would have been a different result. So kicks are important. Thought it was the right choice. Thought we were going to kick on from there, but not to be.
And then so from there, York had quite a bit of pressure and then ended the set with, well, maybe a bit of a comical try.
Yeah, so it was a bit of a strange try. I mean, the kick went up in the corner and it bounced, I think, off of Kieran Gill's head back into the hands of the waiting York player who just touched it down. It won't score an easier try than that. It was just, in fairness, it was unlucky for the Bulls. There's not really much you can do to defend that. I mean, there is the argument of try and catch the ball, but I think it was just unlucky how the ball bounced. So that kind of gave York the momentum at that point. I mean, they did miss the kick, so at that point it was 4-2, and I thought that from there, that's where you saw kind of York kick into gear more, felt that we kind of went down a gear. I mean, they ended up like pushing us into touch, like near halfway, so they got like another set of 6 then, which again goes through. I think it was Harris who dummies through. Easy kind of try, that one, just poor defence I think on that one, straight through, and then it's 8-2 and you're looking at a different game. He adds the 2 and then we're at 10-2.
And then it took to around the half-hour mark before we actually managed to make an impact, and I think did we perhaps spread it wide and then Ock went in for the try?
Yeah, we did. To be fair, it was a nice try, lovely loop pass from Keys into Ockenberg's hands and then over on the right edge for the try. And we got the conversion as well, obviously making it 10-8 at that point. Feeling a bit more positive at that point. I thought we'd seemed to get back into it, and was hoping that, getting to half-time and stuff seemed like we were going to. And then I thought as luck was really on, because obviously we got a penalty right close to half-time that was kind of easily kickable in if you bring your kicking boots, I suppose. But, again, wasn't to be. So it could have been 10-all at half-time. Unlucky not to be. Missed conversion attempts from the penalty, but it was the right decision to go for 2. I do think that it was better to try and even up the game than try and go for the score, because in honesty, we didn't look like we were going to score. it felt like we had a lot of opportunity, but it just didn't look like things were clicking in attack for us.
So after some of our recent performances, I thought, maybe half time is the time where really things get cleaned up and we get a bit more focused. So I was quite optimistic about the second half, but then they came out and after only 8 minutes, we let another try in.
Yeah, we didn't come out in the second half the way I hoped we would. I thought it was one of those where, like you said, I suppose we were both watching the feed at this point and we were talking about it, saying a lot of times you feel like in the second half we do kind of up a gear a bit, or start second halves like we start first halves, as in like try and get a bit of energy back in. I know it was a hot day, so sometimes it was a bit slow, but it just, it was, again, it wasn't, I don't think it was a magnificent York try. I don't think there was anything particularly brilliant about it. I just think it was poor defending again. And again, another easy try went through, changes the game again, because, they missed the kick, but it's 14-8 again. So they're back in control. We're fighting to get back into it at that point.
Yeah, but then I did think at that point we did start playing a little bit better. We certainly had lots of drives towards their line, but they never really came to anything.
Yeah, I think this is the patch, like between then and then kind of, close towards the end of the match. I think it was 72 minutes. So it's majority of the second half. It was quite well fought, as in like it was set for set and they were going at each other. The problem I saw is that we seem to have a lot of opportunity. We seem to be on their line a lot, but just never been able to capitalise, just always looked lost. It was either try and just barge over or the same kick to the corner. I mean, I feel like I could defend these tries at this point, or attempted tries, should I say, and just frustration. So I felt like defence was quite good, but when York did get down towards our half, you could see that there was intent. And I think I said before the last try that they scored at about 72 minutes to you, Alan, didn't I? Said, you can tell they're going to score here. And they did. We never felt like that the other way with Bradford. It always felt like we were like, oh, are we going to score? Hopefully we will. Let's see what we're going to do. We'll look a bit lost. But every time York were there, it was like, there's a threat here. They're going to score. So they did. And obviously that was their try again to get it to 16-8. Glimmer of hope in the last 4 minutes though, Alan.
Then just in the dying moments, dying minutes, we did get across the line. It was a good try from Hallis, just like diving like towards the posts and gets it over the line. So a little bit of redemption. Taking it to 16-14, and but by then there wasn't really enough time to make a difference to the result, I would say.
Yeah, it was too little too late. I think it was a nice little try from him, like barge over from dummy half, but it just seems like that's all we've got in is our playbook. And if it don't come off, it don't come off. It's it was too little too late. Look, it's 2 points. If we'd have got that kick, it'd have been a draw. Do you know what I mean? If you can say ifs and buts, but the thing was, again, is we had ample opportunity to win that match, and we didn't. I feel like it's frustrating because as a fan, I know like everyone's like, oh, you want to watch interesting rugby and you don't just want one out rugby and all the rest of it because it's not entertaining. But sometimes I think it's not just about the entertainment, it's what your strengths are. And I don't feel like the squad we've got is strong at the just barge up the middle game. It just doesn't seem to work for us. When we score, it's when we pass it, it's when it goes to the edges. And we've proved that. The score we got in that was on the edge. We were joking last week in the Hunslet game saying when we pass the ball, we score points. But we just revert back to the one-up rugby down the middle. And I know you listen to the post-match interview, didn't you, Alan, for what Brian No-ble had to say about that?
Yeah, as you say, listening to the post-match comments, and, well, I don't really get it because, Brian seems to say that he wants us to play boring rugby, playing it up the middle, and when we go, what did he say? When we try and be expansive, that's, when we lose it. But I just, I don't. I know you don't agree, Laura.
Look, I'm not a coach. Obviously, I'm just a fan. My opinions are my opinions. I'm not saying they're right or wrong. But, just looking at our tries, the majority of the tries are on the edges. It's where our strength is. Like, the attack down the middle, it doesn't work. It's not enough. Like, I suppose if we had this massive forward pack, and don't get me wrong, like, Doro and Skur, I thought were both exceptional. I thought they played the hearts out, and they do make meters and they do get up the middle, but you can't put it on two people's shoulders when it's a team game, and you can't rely on just let's just bully his way up the middle and just score tries. It's not going to work. Rugby's supposed to be, rugby league in general is a smart game. There's more to it than just trundling up the field. It's smart kicks, finishing your sets well, not just the predictable stuff. And it kind of sounds to me that the way we're playing is obviously what Brian No-ble is asking them to do.
Seems so, yeah.
It's baffling, I think. It is really baffling, because I feel like, I agree with him that when they try and do off-the-cuff stuff, it doesn't always work. But I think maybe that's because, is that not being practiced? Do you know what I mean? If the game plan is run up the middle, just try and complete your sets, not much passing, just trundle it up, you're not going to be practicing any moves or nice kind of little plays through to edge or kicks throughs, so it's easy to defend. If I'm an opposing coach, I know exactly what we're going to do and how to defend it.
Yeah, interesting. And then talking about some of the players that are sort of due back from injury, you think that might change the shape a bit?
Yeah, I think we're missing Suter. I really do. I know I did go with the option of Hallis and interchanging in the hooker role, and Keys and Lilly in the halves, which is the combination I said I would have preferred. But I think we're really missing Suter. I think sometimes you need that little bit of flair, that little bit of something different to break a game open or give you a step up or a bit forward to make it exciting. And I think players like Suter and Holmes, even, because obviously Holmes wasn't in this week, are the sort of players that do that. And I think we really missed that. But you could see that York had that. They have a few players that kind of do that extra little bit that you're not sure of. You can tell that Bradford kind of hold off them a bit and don't really know what they're going to do. With us, they know what we're going to do. Yeah. It's easy to predict. I know what we're going to do. Yeah. We're either going to try and run up the middle and try and barge over for a try, or we're going to do a high bomb to corner and hope that Ock palms it back or scores it.
Yeah, well, just thinking back, actually, I remember when we had was it a penalty about 5 metres out, and we were just, we had plenty of tackles in the bag, but we were just sort of looked lost, didn't know, went side to side a little bit, but with no attacking danger.
Yeah, I think, is this the game plan? Is it that, I know they say defence wins games, and that's true, but when you're playing good attacking sides, your defence is going to crumble at times, which has been proved, especially obviously with York this week. But you can't win the game without scoring tries either, and I feel like there's something disjointed in attack. There's something missing, and it's been for a few weeks. I mean, I think we've been commenting on the podcast. You'd probably see the general themes of things that you go a few episodes back. If you went and listened to those, we're probably quite positive about attack stuff and saying the try I think you mentioned when we were talking at half time, the try at Oldham where we literally through hands to one side of the pitch right back to the other and scored in the corner, and we were deeming it the try of the year, and it's brilliant. And that's the sort of play the fans like to see. It's the sort of play that works. We seem to be on a high. It's the same playing team. It's the same it's just we seem to just have reverted to a different tactic completely, and I honestly don't think it's working.
Yeah, I don't think there's any more to say, really.
It's hard because I feel like last couple of times I've been on the podcast, people are just like, don't want to tune in here just to hear Laura moan about everything, which I'm not. I think it's just frustration. And like you say, it's one of those again where I know, yes, last week, sorry, I was saying, here's me complaining that we're in third or whatever. And now it's like, look, I'm complaining that we're still in third. Yeah. It's we're not fighting for a relegation battle here, but yeah, I think maybe let's say we maybe expect too much. I really don't put this on the players in the sense of I do think they're bothered. I do think there's effort. Yeah. I don't think it's a matter of, this team just aren't bothered and, we might get to Super League through IMG anyway, so what's point in trying? I don't feel like it's that attitude. I do feel like the players put in the effort. I mean, it must have been a tough match yesterday in 30-degree heat. Yeah. So it's not that. We're just missing something and I don't know what it is.
Well, as you alluded to there, it meant that York went top of the table on points, and we stay third because Toulouse lost, but our points differential isn't quite as good.
Yeah, so we've got 1 and 2 on joint, 24 points, I think it is. And then now we're joint, even though we're better on points difference than Oldham, in third and fourth, both on 22 points. Suppose it makes it more interesting for this Friday night. I'd have loved to have been sat here saying we're top of the table and let's keep it on a roll, but not to be, and not the end of the world, even though sometimes it feels like it as a fan. But I think it's just, it'd have been lovely to have been sat here thinking, we're finally top of the table for once and feeling like we're getting that kind of energy back. But you never know, we could turn it around on Friday.
Yeah, hopefully. But does that mean, I know a few weeks ago, I think it was when we lost to Barrow, that Brian No-ble said we were out of wiggle room. Does that mean now we're playing for the playoffs?
I think it's still a little bit too early to say. I know we're over halfway now, but there's still plenty of matches left. I think the fact that York and Toulouse still have to play each other again, I'm not sure. I think York and Oldham and Toulouse and Oldham maybe have to play again as well.
All right.
So it all depends on obviously how the other matches go. I mean, we're talking about our form at the minute, but Toulouse have obviously lost their last two. They're kind of hitting a rough patch at the minute. If that continues and we manage to scrape a few wins, could totally change around. But I do think if we keep going the way we're going and not winning or having patchy like win-loss, we will find ourselves easily slipping down the table, because the ones that are kind of 6th and 5th and even lower than that are not that far behind. They only need a few good runs, and we're then fighting to be in the playoffs.
Interesting. Okay, so we're recording a little bit earlier in the week than usual, so that means there is not very much news to discuss. We don't know about how the players are doing, haven't heard any sort of news from the dressing room or anything, but the one piece of news that I did see on the internet was about the Super League having a meeting at the end of the month, and will probably stick with a 12-team Super League for next season for quite reasonable reasons. It's far too late in the season to be juggling things around, surely. Yeah,
I kind of understand that logic. Who will be in the 12? I suppose that's one head scratcher. It's probably not something Bradford would want to hear, because I think they'd only have more chance of being in the Super League with the 14 team rather than the 12. But then again, what do I know? But controversial for me to say anyway, but I don't know if I feel like we're ready for Super League. I know that that's the aim and people want to get back there, but I think like most fans, I want to get back there when we're ready. I want to be top of the table, beating the best, getting into Super League that way rather than on points. So if they keep it at 12 and it means we don't get in, that's kind of fine by me. I think let's battle it out in the Championship and hope that maybe we'll be there next season. But even so, no matter where they are, followed them from Super League to League One, I'll keep watching.
Yeah. No question about that. Yeah, I mean, like, it's no good being promoted and then having a terrible season in Super League, just coming straight back down again. Like, it is worth being ready for that challenge and having the structures in place. So yeah.
But then with IMG, Alan, you won't come back down. That's the thing I don't understand. It just doesn't make sense to me. I really hope there's a rethink on promotion and relegation, because, like you say, you could just get absolutely hammered week in, week out, every game, and you'll still stay in Super League.
Okay, so yeah, definitely our only hope is for them to make Super League bigger and for us to sneak in into that.
I know I was talking to a friend actually, and it's turned around for them, but they're a Wakefield fan. And I actually was talking about how it was for them, watching them in the Championship. And they said obviously they were loving it because they were winning every week. It were brilliant. They were getting the fans back. They were getting feel good atmosphere, building again. Then got back to Super League, and they're having pretty good season. I know they've had a few off games on last couple, I think, but they've had some good wins as well. And I just think, like what she said to me. The season before, she became despondent, didn't really want to watch. Just watching them get hammered every week is boring. You know what's going to happen. You can't field a team that's going to beat them. But then the following season, you're top of the table and winning everything. So sometimes it's not too bad to be in a Championship. You just need to have a team that's capable of doing that, I suppose. And look, I'm not saying we haven't got a team that's capable. I believe we have. There's just, we're not there yet.
And with my other team being Leeds United, I can definitely agree with that viewpoint about being hammered every week in the top tier, coming down, winning everything in the second tier. But I won't get any more into that because this is not a football podcast.
No, but like you say, it's nicer to watch your team winning than watch your team losing every week.
Yeah. Right, so Friday Night Fever coming up this week.
Yeah, another Friday night match with the fireworks, the pyrotechnics, the DJ, the drinks offer. It's all, big advertisement going out again. Come on, let's get a big crowd going. Don't know how successful that'll be this week after I've seen a lot of negativity after Sunday. But hopeful that we'll still get a decent crowd.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be there, so let that be incentive for all of you listeners to also come along.
Yeah, got an extra one there, Alan, with you coming. If next year I will get you to get that season ticket, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But tough one to predict. What do you think?
Well, I haven't really been following Oldham, but they've kind of sneaked up to, fourth place. And, by all accounts, they're doing pretty well. So I could imagine this would be a tight game. Definitely everything for them to play for. And of course, everything for the Bulls to play for as well. So, should be a good atmosphere, tight game, I would imagine. I would hope for a Bulls win, though.
Yeah, I mean, if you look back to when we played Oldham at theirs, I think it was most shocked I'd been this season. I thought it was brilliant, really brilliant match. I think we really outplayed them, but I think their excuse at the time was that they had a lot of injuries. They didn't have their full team out, and I suppose that's an excuse we could use this time if we lose. But no, I don't think it'll be like last time. I don't think we're in a position to make it like last time. I think like you say, it's going to be more of a hard-fought one. They have got, I think, their players back from injury now, so I think we're going to be pretty much playing a full-strength squad. Obviously, we know we haven't got full strength, but I don't think we can say that's an excuse for us because we've brought in players such as Doro, Carr, Rogers to kind of cover those injuries. So it should be evenly matched. Depends again on how the game is played, I suppose. I mean, if they go with the usual game plan, and if that is the plan to kind of just trundle it up the middle and try and get through, again, Oldham's a big team. I don't think that's going to work. I know you've got to have patience. I'm not saying throw it about at every opportunity, but if we play the same tactics again, it's going to scupper us, I think. And I know that he's alluded to the fact that it's a smaller pitch and you can't spread it as much, but I've seen plenty of teams spread it and get some lovely breaks through the line and score some lovely tries at Odsal, even though the pitch is smaller. So it definitely can happen. So, yeah, if we pass the ball, I think we've got a chance. But if they're told they're not supposed to pass the ball, I don't quite know.
What shall we do? No. And then so also this weekend, so we were the only Friday night game. We've got Saturday night, Toulouse play host to Fez. And then on Sunday, Batley Bulldogs v Halifax, Sheffield Eagles v London Broncos, Widnes against Doncaster, and York versus Barrow. So not too sure what the game of the weekend would be. Maybe the Toulouse match?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe Toulouse-Fez, because obviously we know Toulouse are on a bit of a downward lull at the minute, and Featherstone are definitely on an upward trajectory, so be interesting to see one team climbing the table with confidence, one team was at the top of the table but near the top of the table lacking a bit of confidence at the minute. See if Toulouse will bounce back, or if Fev can get the win there.
And of course they have the home advantage, so
yeah, that could go either way. I think previously I would have been saying that it would be a Toulouse win, but not so sure now. I think Featherstone have got a good chance with that. I don't see Barrow posing any threat to York, to be fair. I think that'll be another comfortable York win. Other matches that kind of affect us, don't think there'll be many to trouble us. Obviously, Batley Halifax, I know Halifax, they got on a good result against Toulouse, so they'll be looking to try and push for playoffs. Sheffield London, that's kind of more of the bottom of the table clash there. Widnes Doncaster, that'd be quite an interesting one, because I know they seem quite evenly matched, so that's probably a good game for a neutral to watch. So yeah, games can go either way. I do think that. I think anyone can beat anyone in the championship. But the way things are going and how confidence is at the minute, I think you'd be hard pushed to beat York at the minute.
Great. So now we go into bull or no-ble. So I'm not quite sure how wise a decision this was. I was thinking about Super League and, the potential of an expansion of Super League, Bradford potentially getting in. So I thought I'd look back about the last season that Bradford were in Super League, and that, of course, was 2014.
Yeah.
So my 3 statements to you, Laura, where you have to pick the bull from the 2 no-bulls, are that in 2014, Bradford were relegated from Super League and Leeds Rhinos won. In that season, Bradford won 8 games. And in that season, again, the top point scorer for the Bulls was Ryan Shaw with 40 points.
So, winning 8 matches, I know it wasn't a great season. I don't know if we won 8, to be fair, but could be no-ble. We were relegated in 2000 and what did you say, 14? Was it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's when we were relegated. So I don't know about the Leeds Rhinos thing, but obviously I don't follow Leeds Rhinos. So I didn't really track what they were doing that season. But again, I know we're relegated, so I would hope that's no-ble unless you're tricking me with the Rhinos thing. And then the Ryan Shaw, I know he was a prolific try scorer for us. I'm just trying to think, because I don't feel like we signed Ryan Shaw until we were in the Championship. I feel like he didn't play with us in Super League. Could be totally wrong, but I feel like he played for Hull KR in Super League. I don't think he played for the Bulls. But again, I'm not very good at these predictions, and I could be wrong, and it could be my memory just serving me wrong. So I'm going to go for the Bull statement as the Ryan Shaw top try scorer.
As it happens, you are correct, but that's because of a clerical error on my behalf. I don't. Leeds Rhinos did not win Super League. They finished sort of mid-table.
Right.
So that was meant to be the Bulls statement. Ryan Shaw was in fact the year after. So,
in Championship.
Yeah. So well done for identifying that.
So there was 2 Bulls.
Well, there were 2 Bulls.
2 Bulls. Well, I kind of got both in a way.
Yeah.
I did. I was quite proud of my answers there. I think, but yeah, no, the one that you meant to be Bull. Obviously threw me with the Rhinos thing. But yeah, who follows Leeds Rhinos? No. Definitely not on this podcast.
I think for the record, St Helens finished first. Whether that means they won or not, I can't quite determine.
Yeah, I couldn't think back to then. I think I was too upset rather than celebrating who'd won the league, to be fair, but never mind. But yeah, we trundle on. Like I say, we follow them no matter where they are. Quite enjoyed the season in League One, to be fair, when we went right down to the bottom. Sometimes it's nice to work your way back up. You just wish it was quicker sometimes. And if we get stuck in Championship for life, I'll still be watching.
So that brings us to the end of another episode. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. And we're available on all your popular podcast platforms. Easy for me to say.
Yeah, and also we're trying to get a bit more interaction on social media. So if anyone wants to give us a follow, we're on X, Blue Sky, Threads, Instagram, Facebook.
Wherever you feel like being social. TikTok as well. Yeah,
I started a TikTok one this week. Don't know how successful that'll be without videos, to be fair. But I was talking with some friends of mine today and they're saying maybe it might be a good idea to try a bit of Bull or No-ble on TikTok.
Oh, yeah, we could do that.
Maybe see if some fans want to get involved. We could maybe do a Bull or No-ble for the fans and see if we get any answers and then answer it on the next podcast. Maybe something for the future.
That'd be brilliant, yeah.
See if anyone's interested. Hopefully we seem to be getting some consistent listeners or a few new listeners as well. So
yes, we see you.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you'd like to play a game of Bull or No-ble, we might take that to TikTok soon.
Brilliant, yes. And so good luck to Bradford on Friday. We'll all be there cheering them on, and we will catch you next week.
Yep, see you next week. Thanks again for listening, and come on, you Bulls, for Friday.